We are in a competitive market here in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. And you might be thinking, oh, well, you mean like the market during the pandemic? No, that is absolutely not what I am talking about. In this week's video, I'm going to talk to you about our market. And if you're thinking about selling your house, I'm going to talk to you about what you can do to make your house stand out in this very different competitive market. So stick around. Hey everyone, my name is Danae Hewitt and I'm your go-to DFW Realtor here in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. So at the beginning of the video, I talked about us being in a competitive market. So what do I mean by that? We're going to talk how days on market has changed, how our inventory has changed, and also where our interest rates are right now. So the stats that I pulled were from March of this year versus March of last year. And I also pulled it in our entire MLS across all price ranges. So we're talking just the wide range of buyers and sellers that I'm talking to right now. So get this, our days on market in 1 year has increased by 18%. Our inventory in 1 year has increased by 29%. But here is the kicker. Our interest rates have remained about the same in that year. We're still anywhere from 6.5% to 7% right now. So that has not changed. And what I feel like is buyers right now when they're out there buying, they're used to these interest rates, all right? I know that we had so low interest rates like during the pandemic in the 2s and in the 3s. We are just nowhere near that. But those buyers are used to those rates right now. So if they can afford it, they're going to buy. So you might be thinking with this higher days on market and higher inventory that means that the prices are going down for houses. No, that is not the case. Get these stats. In March of last year, homes were selling at about 95% of their list price. So not 100%, 5% less. Fast forward, boom, to a year later, homes are selling at an average of 94.4% of their list price. So home prices are barely gone down, even though inventory has increased and our days on market on average has increased. So right now what this tells me is that buyers can be picky right now, and buyers really have to assess their wants versus their needs in a house. Now, they've always been able to do that, but when it comes to like older homes, homeowners insurance is typically going to be a lot higher on older homes because homeowners insurance companies know that that's just more of a liability because all the systems might be original. And, we'll get into that like in another video, but buyers really need to figure out, like, if I can afford this house, then these areas need to be top notch in order for me to put an offer in on this property. So if you are selling your house, I'm going to go through the 5 things that you can do to get your house sold in this atypical competitive market. The first thing always is pricing. Absolutely, 100% always is pricing. When I come into your home, when I price your home, I am thinking like a buyer. I've helped buyers buy properties, so I know I have those conversations. I know what they're thinking, I know what they want, and I know what they look at when they come through properties. So I'm gonna walk through your home and through the lens of a buyer, I'm gonna point out what is going to appeal most to them. And I'm also going to, in the back of my mind, point out some things that might not appeal to them. And that can all play a factor into the price of your home. Now, a lot of people are thinking, oh, price per square foot. And I know that sometimes we see that on, house hunter shows and stuff like that. And they give you the price per square foot and this is how much it is. Well, that is like comparing apples to oranges. Okay, they're both fruit, but they're not the same. All right. So price per square foot, if we have 2 homes that are 2,000 square feet and one is original from the 80s and one has been updated with today's upgrades and style of a home, that home is going to have more value in it, right? Because they've done the upgrades to it. Whereas the home, even though they're both the exact same square feet, we're going to give a higher price to that home that is more updated. It's just how it is. Also, the other thing I'm going to think about is from an appraiser's point of view. So a buyer's lender is going to hire the appraiser. They're going to come out to the home and they are going to put their opinion of value on the home on the day that they come to see it. So I want to make sure that that home is going to appraise for the list price, or at least for the price that we are under contract for. As an agent, I'm able to pull comps to see what that home sold for, compare that to your home, which helps me put together the best value and the best price for your home when we put it on the market. So pricing is always, always, always in any kind of a market, it's going to be your number one strategy to get your home sold. The next thing we need to do is enhance your home appeal. Duh! I mean, obviously, when you have people walk into your home, what do you expect when you walk into somebody else's home that you potentially want to buy? All right? Do you want it to be open and inviting and clean and smells nice? Yes. Well, those buyers are expecting that as well. They want that too. The first thing they can do is when they are parking your car, they are looking at the outside of your house. So let's enhance some of that curb appeal. All right. Maybe you need to repaint the numbers on your house. Maybe that light fixture is looking really faded and it's got a burnt out light bulb. Let's go ahead and update that. Home Depot has some really great light fixtures that are not super expensive. Let's refresh that landscaping. I'm not talking go full out or anything, but if you've got a couple of plants that are a little dead, or you've got a whole barren area of just like nothing there, then put some color there. Put some color there. You're not planning to be there for much longer, right? So put stuff there, make your curb appeal be really, really nice when someone walks into your house, because that's the first impression that they see. On the inside of the house, to enhance your home's appeal is to work on some repairs. Work on some repairs around your house. These are the little things that that aren't really working in your house. And you want to make sure that you do those things, because on a home inspection, buyers may call that out and want to have you replace it anyways, want to have it fixed it anyways. And it's also one of those things where I point out when I go look through a house is if I see the AC vent is just really, really dusty, and I see that the windows are really dirty and the baseboards look a little grimy, then I point out to my buyers, I say, these are all the things that we can see. And by looking at all this stuff, these people in this house, they haven't really taken care of their house. So imagine what they're doing for the things that we can't see. Are they getting their AC serviced every year? No, who knows? So if the things that you see are looking a little lackluster, then imagine what they're doing with the things that we can't see. I literally point that out to buyers. The next thing you may want to do to enhance your curb appeal is do a little bit of staging. I'm not saying go out and restage your entire house. No, absolutely not. That is very expensive. So have your real estate agent come in and just kind of look at some things. Maybe you're okay with storing some stuff in your garage or storing your stuff in a storage unit. And so we can take out some furniture and kind of get it out of the way to make the house and the area feel more open, and that people can walk into your room and feel like, oh, I can walk around and move around in this room. So it's light stuff like that. Maybe you're putting out different show towels in the bathroom. Maybe you're putting out a couple of fake plants or something like that, but just a little bit of staging to make the house feel like it's been well kept, well maintained. It's also really easy on the eyes, of course. Third thing to help you stand out in a competitive market is to be flexible with your negotiations. So let's talk about this for a couple of areas. One of them is for seller concessions. And what that means is you as the seller, when you sell the house, you are giving money to the buyer in order to help them purchase the house. So that usually helps with closing cost assistance, or maybe you're helping them to buy down their interest rate to, 5.5% or 6% as opposed to 7%, whatever the example is. The seller concessions that you give, if it's $5,000, let's say, just know that it cannot go towards that buyer's down payment. Like they have to have that cash down payment. You're just giving them assistance to cover closing costs or buying down their interest rate. So that's a conversation to have with your real estate agent. And I think they should have that conversation with you, because we are seeing seller concessions being given to buyers in our market right now. The next thing to be flexible with is a home warranty. Now, a home warranty it's additional coverage on systems in the house. The one thing to know is that it's not homeowners insurance. It's not in lieu of homeowners insurance. Absolutely 100% no. But it's if the water heater's not working or if the AC is making a funny noise, then you would call in a home warranty appointment. So the technician from the home warranty company is going to come out for a trip charge. And usually I think right now we're seeing it around $85, which is a lot cheaper than your AC guy's trip charge. That may be $150, you know? So they would come out, assess the situation, and a lot of times those things are going to be covered under whatever that home warranty is. All right, now I say a lot of times, but you definitely have to read the fine print of home warranties. A lot of people feel like they're totally junk and they're not worth anything. We had a home warranty on our house, our previous house, and we kept it on our house for 10 years. And I was really glad that we did, because that hot water heater definitely had some people coming out and being taken care of. Okay. So they can definitely be valuable. Right now, home warranties, I think at a minimum, you're going to see probably about $600 in our area right now. And then of course, if you want to cover things like your pool or your septic tank, or like a refrigerator and a washer and dryer, those things are going to be add-ons. So home warranties can be over $1,000 for sure if you've got all of those things in the house. So I would say be really flexible with that. And maybe that's something that you are willing to give a buyer. And that's going to be for the first year that they are in your house. And then if they want to renew it, then they can do that whenever they want to, if they do. So this part with negotiations is you as a seller, you really need to realize that the true value of your home is whatever a buyer is going to pay for it. Hope that didn't sting. So if I got something out there and I'm selling it for $500,000, but I'm seeing some offers come in that are really low, $450,000, $460,000, then that might be the value of your house. Even though you may not think about it, you've got a pool of people that are coming in and offering really low. That might be telling that it's time to lower your price or time to really just be flexible and know, okay, right now, this is what we're seeing from the market. Maybe I need to be flexible on my expectations for the price of the house. Before we get to the last 2 points, if you are getting any value in this video, please like and subscribe. All of those things are very great for the YouTube algorithm. Now, the fourth area to help your house sell in a competitive market, monitor conditions of the homes that are selling in your area. So your real estate agent should have all of the homes in your area like on a search. I do this with all of my listings. It's a saved search in my MLS, and I check it every single day to see what new homes are hitting the market, what homes are going under contract, or what homes are canceling off the market, like whatever. I want to know what's happening in the area, right? And I'm going to give you that information. Every month, I'm going to send you a report to let you know what's happening in the area. Because again, we want to monitor that price to make sure that where we are listed is still in line with the market area. It might change in 30 days. I don't know. Something may sell. It may change in 60 days. It may change in 3 months. Just want to make sure that we're paying attention to homes that are selling in your area. Not only in our market are we paying attention to homes that are selling, but we're also paying attention to interest rates. Okay, so I don't know what's going to happen in 2025. We have heard so many things right now of the feds don't plan to reduce prices and, not getting into anything political right now, but we just don't know what's going to happen with our interest rates through 2025. So it's really important that you are paying attention. If we see an increase in our interest rates, then that may lead to longer days on market. All right. But I've said this for a while now. If our interest rates are ever below 6%, like market wide, not buying down interest rate. I mean, if that's just the market, if it is under 6%, homes are going to start selling very, very, very quickly because they haven't been 5% in a few years. And it's like, woo! People are like, there are so many buyers right now that are just sitting on the sidelines waiting for interest rates to go down, and they've been waiting for years. And as soon as they get under 6, we're going to see a whole shift in our market. Is it going to happen this year? I don't think so. I don't think so. Will it happen eventually? Yes, it will happen eventually. I just don't know how many years from now it'll take. The fifth thing that you can do to help your house sell in a competitive market is to work with a professional. Work with a real estate professional that understands market conditions, understands your area, and also understands your needs. We have access to true market data. We are in this market every day, paying attention to conditions, knowing these stats, knowing what's happening in our market, paying attention to interest rates, so we can best advise you on the direction, pricing, and everything with your house. And also, we have a code of ethics that we need to follow as your real estate professional. As our client, I have a fiduciary responsibility to you to make sure that I am working in your best interest the entire time. So knowing that information, knowing that I am working solely on your behalf, and my goal is to sell your property for you so you can move on to wherever you need to move on to. But working with a code of ethics, a high standard of competency for knowing markets and knowing the area, I'm doing all of that for you to help you sell your property. So what new information did you learn in this week's video? I'd love to know that in the comments below. If you have any questions, drop them below. My contact information is also there too. Please reach out anytime with any questions. And stay tuned for this next video right here. We'll see you next week.